Just couldn't be more thrilled. Now we've had the last few days of some OTAs, certainly the last 8 weeks of being together and putting in our systems on both sides of the ball and working with our players as well. But the last few days in OTAs and things like that. But Nate Dreiling and Wes Goodwin, just two fantastic football coaches with great careers. Just different sample sizes, but just they've represented excellence. And obviously had a relationship with Wes that goes back quite a ways. And he was a guy that I was likely going to hire as a position coach here in our first staff, and Coach Sweeney named him as the defensive coordinator. I wasn't surprised. Incredibly highly qualified, and he did a fantastic job while he was at Clemson. Every year they had different things that they achieved, but he's going to work specifically with our Cheetahs, and I think 8 of the 9 linebackers that he coached over those 3 years were all ACC selections. Barrett Carter and Jeremiah Trotter, both of them were multi-year first-team All-Americans, and Butkus Award finalist as well. Sammy Brown was the National Freshman of the Year, and Trenton Simpson got drafted in I think the second or third round to the Baltimore Ravens, and just did a fantastic job. They led the nation in 2023 in defensive touchdowns. In 2023, they led the nation in turnovers as well. In 2022, they're second in the country in sacks with 44 sacks. They were top 10 in the country, number 8 overall, and 23 as the defensive coordinator, total defense. And until 22, led the country in tackles for loss as well, amongst many other things. But want to make sure that I do a great job of accurately, letting y'all know who he is, and certainly our players as well. But coach that's won a national championship and coached in several conference championships as well, and somebody that, man, I'm just thrilled to have. And we built a lot of great defenses together and won a bunch of games together, and he's plugged right in with the rest of our staff. And then Nate Dreiling, one of the most attractive qualities that there was about Nate Dreiling is just a winner. Everything he's done, he's won. I recruited at his high school, recruited Gino Grissom out of Hutchinson High School. Nate's dad was the head coach, Randy Dreiling, at the time, and I think they had won 5 straight state championships. They won more in a row there, but at that time maybe 5 or 6. And I said, Coach, man, how do you win 5 straight state championships? And he said, my secret sauce is we lift on game day. And I thought that was awesome. And I think more than anything, it just is a mentality. And this team thought they were going to physically beat people up. But Gino came out of that environment, and I really loved Nate as a recruit out of high school. We didn't offer him, and he was just a step slow, and we missed on him because he was a hell of a player. You guys know, probably, again, I would just remind you, he's a 4-time All-American, collegiate All-American. He's the National Freshman of the Year, led the nation in tackles as a freshman, won a national championship as a senior, and comes from an amazing pedigree. I think his dad's won 10+ state championships there. The state of Kansas, both at St. Thomas Aquinas, where he's at now in Kansas City, and as well as Hutchinson High School. But Nate is a guy that comes from, I'm attracted to, he came from programs where you had to figure out how to do more with less. And he worked at a school there in New Mexico State with what we just call ball coaches. Jerry Keel, one of the best football coaches in the last several decades in college football. A great leader. Reminds me of Jerry Keel. He's a lot like a Bill Schneider, in my opinion. And then also worked alongside, I think, Coach Beck, that's now the OC at Vanderbilt. They were coordinators there, and they took a really bad unit and immediately had an immediate impact. And we had actually watched some of their crossover games and some opponents that we had played, and some of our coaches had built relationships with Nate and had a familiarity from his football acumen. That's it, and watched him do a really good job and under the circumstances, but really produced some really good units and some good statistics and some things that he was able to do. Was thrown into the fire, took a coordinator job at Utah State, and was thrown into the fire as the interim head coach when they let their head coach go, and last July, I believe it was. And as his wife is battling breast cancer, he courageously took that upon himself. And it also told me a lot. You just got there. They named you as their interim head coach. You obviously have made an impact, some shape, form, or fashion. Not surprised. Again, he's an alpha. That's who I would say Nate Dreiling is. But one of the most attractive things, as I was interviewing several people that I had with Nate, is he said, "Man, I'll walk to Norman, Oklahoma, and I don't care about money. I don't care about titles. I want to come work for you and work with that staff and coach at Oklahoma, and I want to help you be successful." And that's not the only reason, but that was another. Some people are really needy, and that's fine too. We had plenty of resources to make sure we got the right guy. But so between the two, I got two guys that have coordinator experience. They've got this amazing pedigree and track record, not lengthy, but really good in a very short amount of time. And then